I love you, baby. I met Eugene because I'm a singer and he had a steel band at the time. So I went along, sang with him for about 2 weeks, and that was it. The rest was history. Eugene was 64 when he was diagnosed with dementia. He was very practical, was this consultant. As soon as he said, right, he's been diagnosed, you need to look at power of attorney, and I immediately went out and investigated it.
A lasting power of attorney, or LPA, is a legal tool that lets you choose someone you trust to make decisions on your behalf if you become unable to make them yourself. This is usually a family member or friend. They are called your attorneys. After a dementia diagnosis, it's important to plan for the future. It may be hard, but it can also be reassuring to know you've chosen people you trust to make decisions for you when you need them to.
At first he was like, oh, why have I got to do this? And, he was worried about, what was going to happen to his money. And he didn't have a lot of money, to be fair, but he was concerned. And, well, we talked about, who else could be on the power of attorney. He wanted his brother on the power of attorney. I think he felt with his brother on it and that I was on it, that both of us would be able to look out for his interests. And eventually he came round.
There are two types of LPA. The first is a property and affairs LPA. This lets your attorney make decisions about your property and finances, including managing your bank accounts or paying your bills. The second is a health and welfare LPA. This lets your attorney make decisions about your care and medical treatment. An attorney must always act in your best interests. They'll only step in if you agree or when you no longer can.
So because we set up a property and affairs LPA, I was able to deal with Eugene's finances in relation to his time in the care home, any care that he needed while at home. On a monthly basis, I got a bill from the care home, so I had to pay it so I could access his bank account and then pay the money over to the care home. So that made it a lot easier. And then because we have the health and welfare LPA, it was easier getting information from the GP, consultants. They were all happy to speak to me and see me as somebody that was advocating on Eugene's behalf.
You need mental capacity to make an LPA, which means you must be able to understand what making an LPA means. Dementia is progressive, meaning it will become more difficult to make decisions over time. Someday, you may be unable to make an LPA. If you don't make an LPA and become unable to make certain decisions for yourself, this could mean no one can legally make those decisions for you. This can make things difficult, particularly paying bills or care costs. The alternative to an LPA at this stage can be time-consuming and expensive, so it's a good idea to think about it early on.
Yes, we got to the point where he didn't know. He'd go into the bank and the bank were really good with him, but he didn't know what he was going in the bank to ask for. So it's really important to ensure that you do an LPA before the person loses capacity.
You need to complete a form on paper or online and pay a fee. You don't have to use a solicitor, but you can if you want to. If you don't have internet access or can't complete the forms online, Alzheimer's Society can help you over the phone.
I would say to people, do it now. It's really important. It will put your mind at rest. It will make life so much easier.